Okay, before I start this review on this movie, I just want to make it clear that I'm going to review this movie as a movie critic, as a reviewer on YouTube. I'm not going to, per se, talk about anything other than that, and I'm just going to review this movie the way I think if it was good or not or anything like that. And okay, Passion of the Christ, directed by Mel Gibson, starring Jim Caviezel as Jesus Christ, and Monica, who's done such movies before this, like G.I. Jane with Demi Moore, and Monica Bellucci, who's done The Spectre and several other movies like it. She was a Bond chick, and she plays Mary Magdalene on this movie. So, okay, this movie talks about the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. It talks about the time. It starts off where the the Roman soldiers came to apprehend him, and he was with his disciples. So, and Mel Gibson, who's done such movies as Braveheart and Hacksaw Ridge, it, when you watch a movie like this, or you realize how violent it really is, okay, and and I just want to make it clear though, okay, this movie is a very, how do you say, it's a very accurate depiction of the crucifixion, okay? Because a lot of us growing up watching movies like this, I've seen movies like King of Kings. I've seen a lot of movies like that about Jesus, about the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But I was, they were always just, he had just a couple, like you could see blood on his with the crown of thorns. You could see the nails, blood coming out. There was never a movie before this that actually did a accurate depiction of the the crucifixion, because really when you look at it, this movie, that's what it's talking about. So a lot of times this movie it gets really violent, and if you see Braveheart or Hacksaw Ridge, you kind of understand why. But I think director Mel Gibson, who's also known for his movies like Lethal Weapon, he did such an amazing job on this movie. It's the first actual movie of its kind that actually has Jewish actors, that actually has Roman actors, Italian actors, Greek actors, and it's so accurate. This is the most accurate depiction of the crucifixion that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I have not seen, because I've seen Son of God, but that wasn't really, has nothing like this movie. Because one of my single biggest complaints about movies like this is when I hear British actors talking like this. The son of God is guilty as charged. And when I hear stuff like that, it makes me wonder. I see, you see it so much, like movies like Gods of Egypt that have absolutely zero Egyptian actors. This movie is the most accurate, straight to the point, pulls no punches, and it's very violent, because if anybody's ever done any study on this stuff, they know that some people, theologians, say that Jesus Christ was so mangled that he was unrecognizable by the time he went to the place of skull where he was crucified. So I think Jim Caviezel, who a little known actor, he probably did. He took time to learn Aramaic, the language of the disciples and Jesus Christ, only known by Jesus Christ and his disciples. I think that's a really big honor to such to such just a monumental event. Okay, because I'm not coming into this like any religion of any kind. I'm just trying to give you guys what I think of this movie. I think this movie is probably, I've never seen a more powerful film in my entire life. I've never seen a movie so accurate, so on point with everything. Uh, when you've seen any Mel Gibson movie, you know that when he's going to do a movie, it's very accurate. And then I also want to talk about some of the bad publicity. I also want to talk about the rating it got on Rotten Tomatoes, the 49% on Rotten Tomatoes, and they're actually being nice, aren't they? I think that's ridiculous if you really look at it. If you really look at it, if you take away the religious aspect of it and look at it like a movie fan, this movie is really, actually really good one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. It is. I've never seen a movie like this again. And I don't know if we'll ever see one like it again. But those are my honest opinions on this movie. So, I you know so I want to before I give the rating to this movie, I just want to tell you guys that, like I said, I'm not here. This is not a religious, um, you know, no disrespect to religion, no disrespect to non-religious people. This is just an accurate on special effects. There's not a whole lot of effects on it because it shows the devil on this movie and it's played by a woman actress, and that was so on the spot clever by Mel Gibson to do something like that. Because if anybody's ever done any studies on this stuff, knows that the Satan himself, Lucifer, is neither man or nor woman, and he's the epitome of evil, right? So, and this in this movie, everything is accurate down to the scene with Pontius Pilate when he's judging Jesus Christ, and especially the Barabbas on here. The Barabbas looks the Barabbas kind of reminds me of one of what you look like after too much drugs and beer after 10 years. That's pretty much what Barabbas looks on this movie because you've seen movies before this. You've seen the old movies. You've seen Barabbas. He looks like just a really tough looking guy. But on this movie does not try to please anybody. It does not try to lie to you about what's going to happen. And like what I've heard from other people that the Jesus Christ was actually unrecognizable by the time he reached the crucifixion. So this movie's not even close. Well, it's the closest people are going to get to seeing what he went through. This actor portraying this, I've never seen a more powerful performance on screen, and this movie is beautifully made. It is just beautifully made, and some of the stuff, the unexpected shocks on it, like scares on this movie, like you see demons on every corner when Jesus Christ, including the part where Jesus steps on the serpent, which is a form of Satan, a form of Lucifer, which is the serpent, and that is damn clever. I'm sorry, but this movie is extremely clever as well. It's the cinematography is just staggering, and this movie was not per se made to shock anybody, meant to offend anybody. It was not made for that reason. It was made because Mel Gibson wanted to make an accurate depiction of the crucifixion, and very few movies can do something like that. And a lot of and especially the actors on this movie, they were from Mary Magdalene to Mary, the Virgin Mary, stuff like that, and as well as Judas Iscariot. There's a chilling scene that takes place in the movie where before he hangs himself, a bunch of little kids start to bother him, and then it turns out that they're actually demons that are they're trying to drive him crazy enough so he can go hang himself, because nobody really knows. Nobody was around, right? So I'm just giving you examples of how powerful this movie really is, on how it really hits on the dotted line when it comes to accuracy. And like I said, I don't know if there ever will be a movie like this again. But anytime Mel Gibson makes a movie, because I've seen his movies like Braveheart, Hacksaw Ridge. I haven't seen Apocalypto at all, but I heard it's really good. I might check it out one of these days. But this is probably one of the absolute. I think Mel Gibson deserves. I heard there was some awards, not from the Oscars or the Academy Awards at all, but he's received award and nominations for Best Director for this film, as well as I think Best On-Screen Actors. Because as far as the acting is concerned, I've never seen acting like this, because this is all done in Hebrew and Italian and Greek. So I've never actually seen anything like this. I probably won't see this type of movie again. I'm not sure, because earlier this year when I did my most anticipated movies, there's going to be an Apostle Paul. There's going to be, I think, a Mary Magdalene film, standalone film, and some news that you guys might want to know. Those of you that like this film, it's actually going to receive a sequel that based on the resurrection part. Okay, this is the crucifixion. There's going to be director Mel Gibson is doing a sequel to this movie, which is going to be The Resurrection. So okay, I'm going to give this movie, but okay, remember I weighed all I saw watched it again, all the acting, the cinematography, the visual effects, the as well as the storyline, as well as the cohesiveness of the script, because this movie's not really going by a script that somebody wrote. This is actually what the Bible documents as the resurrection, and it doesn't exactly follow everything because it kind of tells you he kind of tells you that okay, this is what he believes. So some of the stuff on here is not you won't actually find in the Bible, but it does the Bible kind of gives you an idea of what it was like. So it's just like just say if you decided to make a movie like this and you wanted okay when Jesus is being tortured and is being you know scourged on this movie, which is probably one of the most intense scenes in this movie. That it's very accurate. It says it in the Bible. It just doesn't say, okay, well, he was beat to a point where he was so he couldn't walk anymore and his face was unrecognizable. His face looked like what when you get crushed. If you guys ever seen one of those horror movies when you get crushed by it shows the person getting crushed by one of those by hydraulic press. That's what Jesus Christ, Jim Caviezel's face looked on this movie. It looks just gruesome. Okay, now I want to talk about the controversy surrounding this film. Okay, a lot of people, including the religious folks as well as non-religious, there was a lot of talk about people passing out in the movies. Actually, one person actually died watching this movie, and other people, Catholics and some type of Christian organizations, were boycotting or I'm not sure, but protesting this film because it was just way too violent. Okay, so given the controversy surrounding this film, I I just want to say that okay, if some people found this film too uncomfortable to watch, and I would probably say that if you don't like it, to watch it, okay, and also because it's a lot of people, including religious, some people don't want to see truth. They don't want to know about how okay this is. We got to think about the not just the crucifixion and the resurrection, but we got to think about they're thinking about what happened as he was going there. Because this is what this movie did. There is one flashback scene where it shows him a tender moment with what the one tender moment in this movie with his the Mary the and Jesus. So this movie has no time for any real humor. That's kind of a humorous moment in the movie. So I'm gonna give this movie a plus because it is just that good. Like I said, I'm not doing it as any against a religion or I'm not promoting a religion. I'm just saying as a movie critic, as a reviewer on this website, I'm just giving you guys what I think it is, and it is a plus on execution, on acting especially. The acting was just wow. I've never seen any acting like this again. It is just so good. It's so accurate because if you get tired of movies where you see Jesus talking like he's from London, it's just you want to see if you want to see an accurate depiction that's close to what really happened. Watch this movie if you haven't watched it because it is that intense, that powerful, and it might offend some people, and it is gory. It is, and there's a lot of scary scenes in it with demons showing up and stuff, and especially at the very end where Jesus dies on the cross, and you see Satan all pissed off, and because everybody knows why. So no, I just want to give this movie. Like I said, I'm not going into this as anything. I'm not promoting nothing. I'm just promoting as a feature film, as a film that is probably one of the best films. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit about real quick. When you see him get out of the cave, get up out of his sleep and out of the cave, that part usually would make me cry. I mean, a lot of people, I also want to talk about just a lot of stuff that the news was covering that a lot of people actually converted to Christianity because of this film, and a lot of people protested this film. There's a lot of people that love this film. There's a lot of people that hate this film. There's a lot of people that think it's not right, and there's a lot of people that think it should be like that because, for obvious reasons. Okay, all right. If you guys like this video, subscribe to Louis Balance of Cinema Reviews and comment below what you think. If you're, what is your favorite Mel Gibson directed film? One of these are my three favorites: Braveheart, Passion of the Christ, and Hacksaw Ridge. There's others, but these are the ones that I really actually like. So comment below and subscribe. Support this blog, and I will see you guys soon for another review.